welcome to the Northland. So it is Tuesday morning, March 30th. I'm on my way to B&B Tire in Winstead, Minnesota. I'll leave the link in the description below. We are going to have the daytime running light kit put in today, color changing kit. I spoke to Carrie, and it sounds like they'll let me at least do some recording there, so we'll see if that holds true. Then hopefully I can bring you guys some content of them putting in the kit. Again, I don't want to pretend like I'm a master mechanic. That I am not. I know enough to get me in trouble. I took several semesters of auto mechanics courses after I got out of the military, so I do know the basics of most things. Like I said, I know enough to get me in trouble, and I decided that in this case, since I'm under the assumption that the headlights have to be split open, or somehow the seal needs to be broken on them in order to install the boards or something. I don't remember, but I just thought it would be best. I was rather nervous because I know the headlights aren't cheap, and I thought, it'll be my luck that I'll break the damn things, and then I'll have to pay to obviously replace them. And so I thought, I'll just pay to have it done, since they were only quoting me about $200, give or take. I don't think that was a firm figure, but since that's the case, I thought, I'll just let them take the chance. That way, if they break it, they can replace it. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll talk to you more once we get there. Okay, so here we are at B&B Tire in Winstead, Minnesota, and let's go in and say hi to Carrie. Alright guys, well, it didn't quite work out as planned. I was going to record in the shop, but we had a bit of a problem. The color changing kit does not come with instructions, and there really is no installation instructions or video on the website, American Muscle website. And the technician was willing to try to do a few things. See, the headlight has to be split, so the clear lens has to come off the main part of the headlight, and they're sealed at the factory to keep moisture out. So apparently, in order to do that, you need to heat it up, and the only thing I could see where it was the way that was recommended was to put it in the oven at like 250 degrees or something for like 20 minutes or something to that effect. Well, obviously they don't have an oven there. So he was going to try a heat gun. But being that there are different densities of plastic, it wasn't going to work real well, and he was afraid of screwing it up. And so they looked online. Those headlights are $1,500, give or take, each. So needless to say, they didn't feel very comfortable trying to experiment, because they didn't want to spend $1,500 on a headlight if they screwed it up. And likewise, I don't want to exactly put $3,000 worth of plastic in my oven for 20 minutes. And even if I were to be cautious, $1,500 is too much of a risk for me to take. I don't want to try and split them myself because I don't want to break them. And like I said, I don't want to put them in the oven because I'm afraid they'll melt. So I've decided to send the color changing kit back to American Muscle, and to their credit, I ordered them back in January, I guess, and they have a policy where they'll refund anything within 30 days, providing it's not used in good shape or whatever. And so since I'm outside that 30 days, they're going to give me in-store credit, which is fine. There's other things I want to, so I just dropped the package off at FedEx, and I suppose within 2 weeks I should have a in-store credit back to my account. So I think at this point my goal is to get a catch can put in, so that's what I'll do with that, and I'll do that myself. And I think I'll replace these chrome lug nuts with some black ones. And I don't know, I don't remember exactly how much that color changing kit cost and how much this other stuff costs. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'll use up that credit on something though. Maybe either engine dress-up parts, or something. I'll figure something out, and obviously then I'll upload that in the next, well, maybe not the next video, but in a future video. So another thing I got is my lowering kit and stop the hop kit from Stida. I was going to go with a certain company, and I'm becoming very unhappy with them. Their customer service skills are in desperate need of some help. So I may opt to go with B&B Tire again, to have them put in the springs and stuff. That is something I know they can do. That shouldn't even be an issue. I'm waiting to hear back from Carrie now to give me a quote on what that's going to cost. But I suspect that it'll be within reason. So I completely recommend B&B Tire and Auto. If you're in Minnesota or anywhere near the Winstead area, they have a loaner car program if you need your car work done. Now, granted, you're not going to get a Cadillac, but at least you have something to drive to get you back and forth to work or whatever, depending on how long it takes them. All you need to do is fill it back up with gas. And they're very good there, very knowledgeable, and they do great work, and even more importantly, they stand by their work. I had a oil pressure sending unit go out in my truck. This was the second one I've replaced now. They did the first one, I don't know, like a year and a half or 2 years ago. And don't quote me that they're going to always do this, but I know the part was out of warranty, but they warrantied it for me anyway. So I really appreciate them and the work that they do. And you can't go wrong by taking your car to them. They'll do a fantastic job. They'll do everything they can to fix it. They'll exhaust every resource and do whatever they can to fix it and make it right for you. So again, I recommend them. The link again will be in the description below. When I get home, I will I have another serious subject to approach, and I'll cover that in a few minutes. All right, so this is going to have to do with the RPM Act. I think I mentioned it in my last video. So I have a little bit more information now. I urge you all to Google RPM Act and go sign the petition. Send a petition to your state representatives and senators. I have a couple of letters here that were sent back to me, and I just wanted to read them to you so that you know where people stand, or at least the people in my state. This first one is from Tom Emmer. He is the congressman for the 6th District of Minnesota. It says, "Thank you for contacting me with your support for recognizing the Protection of Motorsports Act. As your representative for the 6th Congressional District of Minnesota, I appreciate your input on this legislation. You might be interested to know I was a co-sponsor of the RPM Act in the 115th and 116th Congress. The Clean Air Act, established in 1963, created a federal law directing the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to regulate air emission with the purpose of working to reverse the effects of air pollution. Although most recreational vehicles are subjected under the EPA, a 1990 amendment to the Clean Air Act excluded racing vehicles from these standards." Please ignore the heater. Hopefully it won't be too loud. It's still cold outside here, unfortunately. 36 degrees today, 73 yesterday, only in Minnesota. Anyway, back to the letter. "As you know, the RPM Act would clarify vehicles used solely for competitive purposes are exempt from the Clean Air Act. This legislation was created in response to the proposed rule by the EPA, which would include racing vehicles in the EPA's regulations. While we all have a responsibility to be wise stewards of the environment, environmental protection and recreational activity do not have to be mutually exclusive. Should this legislation be reintroduced to this Congress, I will make sure to keep your views in mind. As representative for the 6th Congressional District of Minnesota, your opinions on the RPM Act and any other issue are vital to shaping my understanding and work on this important issue. Thank you for taking the time to contact me, and if I can ever be of help in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out again." Okay, so that's one. Now, I'm not trying to turn this into anything political, but it is what it is, and unfortunately, politics plays a role in our pastime. This next one is from Tina Smith, and this one, to me, was kind of scary. It says, "Thank you for contacting me about the recognizing the Protection of Motorsports RPM Act of 2019. I appreciate hearing from you on this important issue. Greenhouse gas and fuel economy standards play an important role in helping to reduce emissions in motor vehicles and encourage the development of alternative fuels. Currently, the Clean Air Act, which oversees air pollution from motor vehicles, limits the ability of street vehicle owners to convert their cars." So I think we kind of see where she's going with this. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the camera here. It's freaking out. Where was I? Convert their cars, trucks, and motorcycles into race cars. Those in the amateur motorsports community argue that the practice of converting street cars into motorsports vehicles is an American tradition and that the Clean Air Act should not apply to vehicles used exclusively for competition. Others believe that the carbon emissions and air pollution from converted race cars mean that these vehicles should be subject to the same Clean Air Act emissions rules as other vehicles. I don't know what's going on with my camera, so I apologize there for moving it around. The RPM Act has not yet been reintroduced in the Senate. This is an important issue for Minnesotans in the motorsports community as well as for those concerned about greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution. I will continue listening to both sides and keep your views in mind if the RPM Act comes before the Senate for a vote. Yeah, that means she's going to vote it down. Thank you again for contacting me, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future on this or any other matters that concern you. Okay. And last but not least, from Senator Amy Klobuchar. Thank you for taking the time to contact me. I appreciate hearing from you on this important matter, and I will keep your views in mind as relevant legislation and other decisions related to this issue come before the Senate. I continue to be humbled to be your senator and one of the most important blah, 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 blah. I mean, she doesn't even address the issue. I mean, it's a basic standard form, I feel, a screw you letter. So, you know, this is partly because of the Green New Deal thing. They want to convert, or they want everybody to go electric, and to them it's all cut and dry. There's no gray area. It's black or white, and you either abide or too bad. It doesn't matter what your pastime is. It doesn't matter what you want. Again, even though cars like mine, no matter what you have, pollutes the air less than almost anything in China, I would be willing to bet. You really want to curb air pollution? Why don't we look at trains? Why don't we look at cruise ships? Why don't we look at buses? Now, I know that, you know, a bus may take 10 people, and maybe that one bus emits less than 10 cars. But seriously, look at the next time you pass a city bus, look and see how many people are on that bus. Now, maybe if you're in LA or New York or something, maybe they're packed. But around here, I swear, I have never seen more than 5 or 6 people on a damn, excuse my language, on a bus. Maybe I'm just not traveling in the right places. Maybe I'm not driving by them at the right time of the day. But I think there are better ways to try and curb air pollution than to pick on the average Joe who wants to modify his car for an occasional race on the weekend. I will try and put if I can find it again, I'll try and put the link to the petition again in the description below. Please sign it. I swear it takes no more than maybe 3 minutes tops to fill it out. All you need to do is put your name in there and your address, I think maybe your email address or something, and hit send, and it goes automatically to your representative. So again, I implore you to do that. Again, this doesn't affect just me or a handful of people like me. This affects a lot of people. It affects a lot of businesses, a lot of jobs, from racetracks to even car manufacturers, because the reason we have cars like this today is because of competition. You know, competition is a good thing. And that doesn't mean we all ride around in electric vehicles. So I get it that someday it may be that that's all we have and we have no choice. But I don't think that time is now. So please go ahead and do that if you can. I'd appreciate it. I know lots of other people would appreciate it. So please hit that like and subscribe button, even if you don't like it. Hit that like button. Again, it would be a big help to me. If there's anything you want to see, anything you want to stop seeing, please put that in the comments below. I will do my best to read all of them. Right now, that is not a problem. Share this with anybody that you think that would like it, or anybody that may be concerned about the future of motorsports. So thank you for watching, and we'll all see you in the next video.